Have you ever felt like you just aren't enough? Like you just have this need to be perfect every single time? Well, newsflash, you're not the only person. We all want to feel accepted. We all want to be perfect because we want to be part of a community so bad. And it's not our fault. We're just humans. It's innate for all of us to want to feel like we are part of a community. And what better way to be part of a community than being perfect for the community? Now, it doesn't matter where, what community we're talking about. It could be in school, it could be at work, it could be at the gym. It could basically just be where you spend the most time, right? And we just want to feel accepted by these people, and we feel the need to be perfect to be accepted. But guess what? Even the people you want to be perfect for aren't exactly perfect. Nobody is perfect. It's very normal for us to want to pressure ourselves to actually be perfect. But what actually matters in the end is just being yourself. It's being real to who you are, knowing who you are, and not being in conflict with your self-identity or what you have realized that you are. The craziest thing anybody can do to themselves is to compare themselves with other people. It's very frustrating. It's crazy. And if you've done it before, I do not need to overemphasize on how frustrating that path is. If you decide to take that path, it is absolutely crazy, frustrating. You know why? Because you can never be them. You can never be like them. Your stories are different. Your opportunities, your experiences are different. Your backgrounds are different. You just cannot be those people. I mean, if everybody was like everybody, then what's fun? How can the world be fun? What's fun in that? There's nothing fun in it. I mean, what makes me Gifts is different from what makes you Mike, for instance. It's different from what makes you Cynthia. It's different from what makes you Pat. Welcome to Random Ramblings with Gifts. If this is your first time being on the YouTube channel, this is basically a channel where we have random rants. We just talk about several topics, things that plague us as adults, and just talk about them regardless. If you are just finding this YouTube channel for the first time, maybe you're someone that is currently in a state where you are comparing yourself with another person, you're in the right place and you clicked on the right video, and I hope that by the end of this video you would see that you do not need to actually compare yourself with that person, but find out what makes you special as yourself, make it more better, or even just be you for a change. Now, let's talk about what started this whole need to be perfect or need to be a certain thing. Before the advent of social media, before social media became as prominent as it is now, many of us were just worried about our neighbor, what they had or the clothes that they're wearing, and just we compared ourselves with how they looked or how their kids looked better than ours, just all of those random comparisons that seemed harmless at the time. And now with the advent of social media, it has even become worse, because sometimes you don't even need to care about this person, but it just comes to your feed and you see how someone your age is doing way better than you, or a parent is raising their kids better than you, or someone at the gym is getting their gains faster than you are, and you feel the need to want to be like them. But the crazy thing is that nobody actually puts out their bad parts on the internet. Everybody puts out what they find as their best features. So how are you sure that you don't even have better features than this person? I'm just saying. I'm not saying that the people that you see out there, you're better off in real life. No, I'm not saying all of them are like that. There are people that actually have good life on social media and off social media, but that's not the point. The point now is that we all have this pressure, this rush to want to be better, to do better, just because of the advent of social media and the fact that we do not understand that the first thing is people do not put out their worst part or worst features out there. Everybody puts their best features, their best life out on social media. So if you're pressuring yourself, you should ask yourself, if I see this person in real life, will I still find them as fascinating or as perfect as we think, or as I think that they are right now? That's the first question you should actually ask yourself. will I still find them fascinating? And if that's your problem, how they look on social media, why not put out something on social media that you like about yourself? Why not put out your best features out there? Trust me, not everybody, you cannot be completely bad like that. No matter how bad you think you are, maybe you're not actually being grateful for the little things that you have, or you're not actually seeing the beautiful things about your life. Your eyes maybe, or the fact that you have good health. Have you thought about that? There are some people out there in the hospital hoping to stay alive the next minute, or living on some life support system. You can imagine how crazy that is, but that is not your case. And you just feel like because you do not have what the other person on Instagram has, then it means your life is bad. No, nobody is actually perfect. The truth is that chasing perfection will lead to stress, burnout, and you just completely losing yourself. Perfection is a mirage. It does not exist. It's an illusion. There is nothing like perfection. What is perfect to A is not perfect to B. Now, does that mean it's not perfect just because B does not deem it perfect? Of course not. Honestly, as a matter of fact, perfection is very, 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 very subjective. It really depends on how you define perfection, what you think perfection is, and what you think is the standard for perfection. For instance, in Africa, if you're a chubby lady, you're considered really beautiful. But out there, people do not want to be chubby. People want to be slim, want to, have a very skinny body. It's not something we like here in Africa, most parts of Africa at least. And does that mean someone that is slim is not beautiful? Of course not. But that's just what I said. It's subjective. So we cannot rule out something, or you cannot say something is perfect, because in the end, it's only perfect for you or for a particular community. So how then is it perfect? Do you know what makes us humans? The fact that we're imperfect, unless you want to be a robot, because every single human is imperfect. We have something that is a flaw, or something that we do not exactly like about ourselves, but that's what makes you human. That's what makes you you. Just don't put so much pressure on yourself chasing the mirage of being perfect. You cannot be perfect. I cannot say this enough. So let me tell you a personal story, right? Or not really a personal story, but let me just talk a bit about me. For a very long time, I have been chasing perfection, looking for how to be the best. It's not bad, don't get me wrong. It's not bad to want to be the best at everything you do or many things you do. But the truth is that even in my chase for being the best, I had days where I just sucked. And it wasn't because I wasn't good or I wasn't putting in the work. It was just because I'm human, and truly perfection is a mirage and you cannot attain it. Now I'm going to talk about I sing, and there was a time I put in so much hours trying to learn the song. I mean, I felt like I had learned it and everything seemed all right. I had taken out 3 days learning the song, scoring the song, and if you know me very well, you would know that I have done my assignments to learn how to score songs, And somehow my music director asked me to sing the song, and I felt like I was put in the spot. Well, I wouldn't say my music director, but he's part of the music directors, and I was somehow put on the spot. I felt like I was on the spot, and he just told me, "Hey, sing this part." And I stood up, and it was so weird that I was missing the lyrics. Like, how could I miss the lyrics? I put in so much time, hard work into that song, and it was crazy for me. I felt embarrassed. I felt like, what it is if you're someone that, loves being perfect at so many things or being the best at whatever you do. You understand how frustrating that could be. And I kept on trying to sing it, and then he did not understand why I was angry. He felt like I was angry at him for calling me out to sing. I was pissed at myself for putting in so much hours and still not attaining perfection. You understand? And then for months it haunted me, but then I realized that that was just a bad day. That was a bad moment. I was not expecting to be called out to sing the song. I was not really expected. I felt like I was on the spot. I was put on the spot just like that. And just because I made a mess out of myself, it didn't mean that I didn't put in the work for it. It didn't mean that I didn't put in the hours. It didn't mean that I shouldn't have put the kind of time that I put into learning the song. It just made me human. It just taught me that perfection is not real, and there will be times that I'm gonna have bad days. There will be times that I wouldn't get the result that I'm expecting to get from the time or hours I've put into a job. But that's just what makes me human. And back to my initial starting of this video, you cannot attain perfection. And if you're out there, maybe you're scolding yourself for something that you did and you wish you did not do, I want you to just calm down and remind yourself that you are learning. Even if you failed today or you lost today, it doesn't mean you're not gonna get something tomorrow or win tomorrow. It's just how life is. Life is not linear. Life is pretty much non-linear, and it goes up and down, up and down. And if you're winning all the time, that's not life. That's contrary to what life was meant to be. Life was meant for everyone to fail and win sometimes. Stay strong, believe in yourself, and just take this as a phase that will soon pass. And if you're trying to find perfection or you're seeking perfection, you are not going to get it. Just put in your best at all that you do, and remind yourself that you're human regardless.